It's a GZERO World in the winter, in the summer, in the fall, and in the spring. Here's a look back at the Annus Horribilis we've come to know as 2020, and some of the many guests that we've featured throughout the year. 2020 started with the United States and Iran at the brink of war, or so they said, following the assassination of top Iranian general Qasem Soleimani.
I don't think we should think this is the end. This is the end of the beginning.
Then, apparent victory for the Trump administration with the announcement of a very one-sided peace plan in the Middle East.
It's very hard to say that the Palestinian people are victims. If they're victims of anything, it's of having bad leadership.
Do you remember that Trump's impeachment also happened this year?
It is therefore ordered and adjudged that the said Donald John Trump be, and he is hereby, acquitted of the charges in said articles.
Meanwhile, a public health threat was winding its way from Wuhan, China. We were at the Munich Security Conference when the first coronavirus death in Europe was reported.
Should Europeans be concerned?
Well, I think everybody in the world needs to be concerned because it is clearly carries extraordinary risks unless there is a very major effort to contain it and to deal with it.
Soon the planet was gripped by the greatest crisis since World War II. We talked to health experts. Our viewers will immediately notice that we are sitting more than 6 feet away from each other. Right. Should we even be doing this right now? Is it okay? Is it safe? Economists.
I don't think we actually have a clear definition of what a depression is, because there's only really been one in the modern era in the United States anyway, and that's the depression of the 1930s.
And business leaders.
I've been hearing anything from 50 to 75% of all restaurants are going to go out of business. I'm having a tough time believing that.
Then a pandemic blame game erupted between the United States and China.
What is surprising to me is that how low people could go here sometime. For some of the politicians, how low they could go.
2020 also brought political unrest in the United States and abroad as protesters took to the streets following the murder of George Floyd.
But you know what, Ian, you asked me how I feel. I'm angry, I wish it didn't have to be that a man, I would say, gets tortured to death for 8 minutes on film for us to believe that this is a problem.
And China cracked down on democracy in Hong Kong.
The Hong Kong people will not forget any of this. Let the world see how ugly they can get, but the Hong Kong people will not give up.
The United Nations turned 75 under unprecedented circumstances and gathered virtually for its annual General Assembly. How much are you losing because we're not able to get the heads of state together in person?
Inevitably a lot. It's clear.
America voted in record numbers in an election facing daunting challenges.
Thousands waiting to cast their ballots.
It could have rained, it could have snowed. I would not care.
You're not going anywhere.
I'm not going anywhere.
The sun is now setting on the Trump administration while we all eagerly await vaccines that will bring an end to coronavirus.
There's been the recent statements made that the mask is perhaps the best vaccine. I view the vaccine as the best mask.
What will the world learn from the many lessons of this tumultuous year? Here's hoping hindsight is indeed 2020.